Today's episode covers battery localization, a design ban in China, a $16 billion autonomous push, fresh EV sales signals from Kia, and a pricing shift for the Tesla Model Y. Short, essential, and market-moving. Welcome back to Autonews Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. Tesla is making a notable pricing and drivetrain adjustment to the Model Y line, with an all-wheel drive variant now positioned as the standard, cheaper option. The change signals a continued sharpening of Tesla's pricing strategy as it seeks to hold volume and market share in a crowded EV field. For consumers, this could mean better value on a popular model, while competitors will be watching closely for responses on both price and specification. This move by Tesla is important beyond a single trim change because the Model Y has been a volume leader and a price lever for electric SUVs more broadly. When a major OEM or EV specialist alters standard equipment or pricing, suppliers, dealers, and rival brands often reassess their own mix and margins. If lower-priced AWD becomes the norm on this platform, it may pressure others to match equipment levels or to emphasize different value propositions, such as range, interior features, or charging networks. For fleet buyers and private customers who view AWD as a safety or performance upgrade, the new standard could shift purchase decisions without a corresponding jump in cost, and that in turn influences resale and total cost of ownership dynamics. Moving from product changes to market results, Kia's EV sales for January 2026 were reported and offer a snapshot of demand in the early year market. The headline figures and commentary from the company give analysts fresh data points to test recent trends around EV adoption and the competitive landscape. While month-to-month fluctuations are common, January's performance provides a useful early read on customer appetite and the effect of product rollouts and incentives. Interpreting Kia's numbers requires looking at inventory, regional demand, and product mix rather than a single headline. Automakers often manage ramp timing, factory capacity, and shipment schedules that can amplify or mask underlying consumer interest. For investors and competitors alike, the January sales data are a signal to examine where Kia is gaining traction, whether on a particular model, in certain markets, or among specific buyer segments. Over time, these monthly snapshots build a picture of how quickly newer EV models penetrate the market compared with incumbents, and whether manufacturer actions, from price adjustments to marketing pushes, are moving the needle. Shifting to the technology side, Waymo is embarking on a significant global expansion valued at roughly $16 billion, a major commitment to scale its autonomous vehicle efforts beyond current footprints. That sort of investment reflects confidence in the commercial potential of autonomous technology and sets the stage for larger deployments in ride-hailing, logistics, and partner programs. For cities, mobility providers, and automakers, such a bold expansion presents both opportunities for collaboration and fresh competitive pressure. Large-scale capital deployments in autonomy accelerate ecosystem development. Mapping, sensor supply chains, safety validation, and regulatory engagement all receive a boost. At the same time, scaling autonomy brings heightened scrutiny on operational safety, local regulations, and public acceptance. As Waymo expands, other players, established OEMs, newer AV companies, and tech firms will need to decide whether to partner, compete, or pursue differentiated niches. The next phases will be less about prototypes and more about durable commercial models, how these systems integrate with existing transit networks, how pricing and liability are structured, and how regulators align on standards for public operations. From global technology deployment to regional regulation, China is moving to ban hidden or flush door handles on electric vehicles, a design decision with broad implications for automakers selling into that market. The regulation targets a specific styling and engineering choice, and it forces designers and suppliers to revisit door systems that have become popular for aesthetics and aerodynamics. For any manufacturer with a China play, this is a compliance and design pivot that will touch production tooling and component sourcing. Regulatory bans of this kind ripple through design cycles. Hidden handles are often integrated with body electronics, sensors, and specific supplier contracts, so removing them can require re-engineering the door architecture and sometimes recertifying safety and ingress standards. Manufacturers that sell global platforms may face the choice of region-specific components or accelerating a unified design approach that meets the stricter regulation. For suppliers, the ban opens a need to supply alternative handle assemblies at scale for China, while OEMs must balance cost, aesthetics, and market acceptance in a very competitive EV market. Before our final item, a quick request. If you find this briefing useful, please like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing the news to you. Finally, General Motors is stepping up efforts to localize EV battery production, a strategic push that touches supply chain resilience, cost control, and domestic manufacturing jobs. Localizing key components of the battery supply chain reduces exposure to long, complex logistics and helps manufacturers respond faster to market demand or policy changes. For GM, increasing local battery production is part of the broader transition from an internal combustion legacy to a battery electric future. The implications of battery localization are wide. Manufacturers that bring cathode, anode, cell assembly, and pack integration closer to vehicle assembly can realize shorter lead times, lower freight exposure, and potentially improved margins, particularly as volumes scale. Localization also interacts with policy. Incentives, tariffs, and government procurement rules can make locally sourced batteries financially attractive. But localization is not without challenges. Securing upstream materials like lithium, nickel, and cobalt still relies on global sourcing and sometimes on complex refining and processing steps that may not be feasible to fully onshore in the short term. For GM and others, the balance is operational. Investing in domestic capacity where it makes economic and strategic sense, while maintaining diversified global sources for critical raw materials. The broader industry watch will be on how quickly those investments translate into production, how they affect battery costs and vehicle pricing, and whether a localized approach changes the competitive dynamics among automakers and battery suppliers. Thank you for joining the briefing today. See you tomorrow.